And we see by our racers, they are both using the strength HP build, so we'll be seeing consistency there.
So our first treasure is gold. Our second treasure is gold. And then we will have the key behind. Now, gold's a really interesting start because there's a lot of divergent strategies on what you want to do with it. Some people like to save and try to hold on to their gold to see if they can find a town. Other players just say, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to start my grind.
And I see... Oh, wow. What a starting location for Tangential.
I think we found the trolley location, or the trolley thing in this seed now.
Yeah. Getting out of there is going to be something, though I believe I did see them start with 10 strength, so that's not the worst thing.
Well, that at least allows them to one-shot these slimes here. This is really rough, especially because not only are they blocked by the swamp that's going to take them a while to get past, but beyond that... Oh, wow, and that is a long swamp. But
yeah,
beyond
they're
that,
going to have to... Yeah, they're definitely going to have to level somewhat to just even get out of there.
And they're stuck on grass to level, which has the worst encounter rate, which is really not what you want to see. But Tristal managing to land an excellent move on this magician might just rocket him up to Never mind.
Never mind. Never mind. Oh, wow.
While we're trying to find our opening monsters to kill, I will note that Tyerenex is using the Black Mage sprite for his character, while Tristal is, I believe that is the heroine from Dragon Warrior 4. So we've got different sprites than you normally see from your hero.
And Tristal takes down a Draki, but it's still not enough for level 2, so we'll still have to see... We'll have to see how much HP they get on this first level, because that could mean a lot.
Yeah, the magic number here is 5 experience, which... So any kill now from Tristal will get him the thing, while Tyerenex has had such unfortunate encounter luck so far. Oh, here we go. Here's a Draki for him.
And before anyone asks about who rolled this seed, it was me.
So we've got slimes, magicians, scorpions, magidrakes, and drakes in this is zone 0, which means that, and since the drakes and the slimes are the only thing realistically killable at this point, you've got about a 40% chance of finding a monster you want.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Just the fact that the magicians have heal more, that's just a kick in the teeth right there.
And the slime just ran away from Tristal. That's not what you want to see either.
Yeah, definitely. And you know, when you just need that 1 XP point and the slimes just aren't giving it to you.
Alright, well here's a Drake on Tristal's side. This is probably going to get him level 2 unless they suddenly show up with some 25% skill that's brutal. But...
Alright, so we've got our level 2. What do we have? Power 9, Agility 1, Hit point 7, Magic 5, and Hurt More!
Well, Hurt More is nice in this just because that will allow you to, while these aren't great Hurt Moreable enemies normally, at least you can get enough experience quickly to get to level 3, where you might be able to start getting out of the swamp.
Yeah, at least these, the Scorpions and Magidrakes, they're no longer a threat. But it looks like it's still not enough HP to get out of the swamp. But at least with Hurt More, you'll be able to actually, you know, do at least a bit of a grind. And meanwhile, level 3 already. Power 9, Agility 3, Hit points 12, Magic 22, and Sleep and Repel.
Still nothing to heal, though, which is going to make getting through that swamp challenging. Even if we do have enough hit points to get through it now, it still aren't... Or you still are going to get through with very, very small amounts of HP, which can be quite tricky.
Well, for all we know, there might be a town close by, just past the swamp. We just have to get past it to see. And Tristal's not even trying. He's just going to go at least to level 4. And it goes to show all that gold that we had, most of it's gone now.
At least in a seed like this, it makes the decision of what to do pretty easy, because you know you're not holding on to that gold.
But at the very least, we have some good strength. Although the hurt more outclasses it by leaps and bounds, but...
It allows you to at least not waste a hurt more on the Drakies.
And we're seeing level 4 power 22, agility 6, HP 4, magic 4, and no spells. Holy cow, the strength in this seed.
Yeah, we're definitely getting some nice stat gains here, but not getting the spells we want yet.
Yeah, especially since now darn near everything might start running away now. As even the scorpions might start running away from this one. I'm not sure about the values on that. Heck, they might not even need Hurtmore to one-shot him now.
And Tyerenex getting his enormous strength gain now. So I think the next magic number we're looking for is 82 experience. Yeah, I'm not sure if there's anything we even need to cast Hurtmore on at this point.
But at the same time, having the enemies actually stick around long enough for you to kill them might start becoming a problem.
Most definitely. Tyerenex is saying, I've had enough of this. I'm going to see what I can do with a few HP left after getting out of the swamp.
Well, if you've got 20 steps to go through the swamp, so see what you can do with it. Like a warlock that can be easily one-shot, that's going to be a good bit of XP right there. Oh, no, I see more swamp.
Why not?
Ooh, that's not good.
But the golems have hurt.
That's interesting.
That's something you like to see for late game, because if you can find one of those in a spike tile with hurt, that is a really nice 255 experience point kill.
But yeah, the swamp is being a problem.
3,914,1 is what Tristal got from his level 5 gain. Still no magic, so he has decided enough is enough and has crossed the swamp as well.
Well, you got 54 health at level 5. Your strength and HP are almost equal at what?
Tristal finds a rogue scorpion, which when you have hurt more is something you really want to see. Armor Knight is not something you want to see when you have 12 hit points.
There's sleep and there's hurt more. There's the diet wombo combo right there.
And right out of the swamp too. This could be a long one.
It's just a matter of where's a town, where's a cave, where's anything in this place.
Tyerenex, knowing there's three experience points to get to the next level, has decided, you know what, let's go ahead and do that before we try this again.
Well, if nothing else, at least they're fighting enemies that give more experience than your average scorpion. Ooh, not quite enough to one-shot the Star Wyvern, though.
I have a feeling we're going to see this swamp quite a bit in the seed. There we go. Tyerenex gets the Rogue Scorpion, which is one of the better monsters to have with Hurtmore, as I mentioned earlier, because...
And we're getting dual level ups here. Power 1, Agility 5, HP 1, Magic 4, no spells. Ouch,
oh, what a worthless level.
So I think both of our runners are kind of hoping to see Edric's armor sooner rather than later.
Yeah, that would be the game changer if somebody comes across Cole when the other one doesn't.
Though it looks like the second swamp is kind of a required trip. Because heading south from that swamp led to nothing.
Yeah, it's a pretty linear map here, which, again, when it's this covered in swamp, is definitely not what you want to see. You want to at least have options, because options give you false hope, if nothing else.
Ooh, tried to run away from that Demon Knight, and it didn't work.
It appears Tyerenex has decided, let's stick around in this little area and just grind for a while rather than try to explore early on.
Well, if nothing else, we're not even 12 minutes in, we're already at level 6, so we're getting our early levels pretty quick.
And this skeleton will get Tyerenex to level 7.
And we're hitting level 7 on Tyranex's side. Power 1, Agility 10, HP 1, Magic 9. We got spells, and it's heal.
Heal. Oh my, that is what you want to see right now.
Oh, most definitely. That blue dragon, on the other hand, not so much.
And the Warlocks have the Dragon Lord Breath. That was a fun surprise.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And we have a town.
Which one is it? Ooh. Green Dragon almost took him out. But had another hurt more, and down he goes. Ooh,
Cantlin.
Wow. Yep, buying some chainmail. Don't blame him one bit. Any armor is better than nothing at this point.
Yeah, and definitely spending your money on your armor is the better decision as well, because weapons not offering you a whole lot in this Hurtmore seed. Even though with 55 strength, you could start taking out some Hurtmore resisting enemies like the Demon Knight pretty soon. Fuchsia Fantasy does indeed have a point that Black Mages should not be able to equip the chainmail.
Black Mages shouldn't be able to heal either.
Reasonable assertion as well.
Meanwhile, Tristal's heading farther west and finding more swamp. Oh dear.
Also finds a golem who was not as kind as the previous ones and decided to attack rather than cast hurt.
And we got a cave nearby. And ooh, it's the Staff of Rain Cave.
Yeah, at this point, that's almost the last thing you want to see. You'd want to have something, either to get the Stones of Sunlight Cave so you have a chest to open, or to find one of the big two, just to have some chance of getting something to help you progress in terms of a key, or Erdrick's sword, or any progression item.
Ooh, well, Green Dragon have hurt. That's a good thing to see.
Ali Jabrat, Tristal has not yet found a town.
And we're at level 8, power 14, agility 0, hit point 0, magic 7, no spells. But the fact that we have healing is a nice thing. Though it still feels weird that we're at level 8 and the strength is higher than the HP.
Yeah, though if you'd really like that trend to keep up, it would be really nice when you've got enough HP to go take on the Dragon Lord if your strength was that high as well. It'd be a pretty easy fight.
And Tristal finds Caitlyn and buys the chainmail as well. But just more swamp, more swamp. Starting to look like the swamp to the west where Tristal was briefly. Looks like that might be the way to go. So we're crossing 3 swamps to get anywhere at this point. That is ick. At least we have a heal spell now, so that we can actually make progress through the beyond that first swamp.
And the other nice thing we've got at this point is with that heal spell, we have enough HP to survive a hit from an Armored Knight. So those random Armored Knights that have been showing up right across the swamp aren't necessarily death sentences anymore. In fact, they're very nice experience gains instead.
Oh, Tyerenex still trying to run from the Demon Knights. I'm wondering, are they particularly resistant to hurt more?
Yes, they have a 15 out of 16 hurt more resist. So
okay, that explains it.
They also have roughly a 25% chance of dodging an attack. So they are not fun monsters to fight when when a couple hits from them can kill you. But I do think at 69 strength, they are killable.
Yeah, I remember them being very agile things. I just didn't know about the hurt resist. So I think Tyerenex has explored pretty much everything around Caitlyn and Staffarain Cave, or maybe not. Maybe there's more on that end of thing that we hadn't seen yet.
So at this point, it may just be both players are trying to grind up to level 9 and see what happens since they're right there buying in.
And we got wolves and wolf lords. It's not bad experience to get. And looks like Tyerenex is at level 9. Got power 8, agility 10, hit points 11, magic 2, no spells. And Tristal's buying a copper sword.
And keeping with our trends, strength is still 10 higher than HP, so it's going to work in their favor in-game if this trend keeps up.
And yet Tyerenex finding a whole lot of nothing here. But yeah, this strength gain is I don't remember seeing strength getting this high before this early.
Yeah, this is a really nice one. And to put things further in perspective, when you find Urtrik's sword, that is a plus 40 attack power. So they're at 117 attack power with that sword at this point, and Given that your general target for the Dragon Lord is 130, they're pretty close.
Meanwhile, our wonderful tracker Demarine2 mentioning in chat that they tracked a race where they were didn't even get this much strength at level 16 or 17. So that's yeah.
At Arbor Knight with the Diet Wombo combo, sending Tyerenex back home at this point. I wonder if he's going to choose to explore in a different direction now.
Well, the only other direction is west toward that, across that third patch of swamp. You know, Tristal barely surviving that blue dragon encounter with 1 HP. That was nice. And with that, he's actually taken a bit of an experience lead, though. Things are still pretty close in that regard.
Yeah, at this point, I think that finding something significant exploration-wise is enough to cut into the leads the small lead that Tristal has at the moment.
And Tyerenex, I think he's seeing this this lovely third patch of swamp for the first time and not really liking it. Oh, goodness. I thought we didn't have the big swamp flag checked.
Yeah, it definitely feels like that was rolled in this one.
We see a cave, and we see Sharlock, surrounded by a swamp, of course.
And that time, the Diet Wombo combo sends Tristal back home.
And
we have the Tablet Cave.
Yep, Tablet Cave, free item. So, what are we going to get here? This is really our first item that we've seen here. And it's the fairy water. Oh, no.
Yeah, especially since we already have Repel right now. That's a pretty useless item.
Well, it can come in handy if you didn't want to spend your MP that one time. Hey, that's one cave thoroughly explored. On we go. And Tristal exploring more of the area surrounding Cantland, just finding more swamp and demon knights. But we have level 10 at Tristal's side. Power 7, 2, 2, 2, new spell. Looks like Radiant and Outside.
So to clarify some questions in chat, yes, this is the in the brackets here, we are in single elimination until the semifinals, where both semifinal games and the finals will be best 2 out of 3 matches. But since this is a first round, the winner of this moves on to the second round. The loser's tournament is over.
Do you recall who the winner of this match will be playing against next in the next round?
I do not offhand.
Ooh, Tyerenex finds another town.
It appears the winner of this game will be going on to play Jackamus. who who Tyerenex has already had to play once this tournament with a narrow loss.
You gotta love rematches. And ooh, Cole. Come on, Edric's armor. And it's no. Oh,
that one hurts.
Yeah, but we've been seeing golems, so that does help a little bit at least. Though we do have large shields, and Tyerenex can afford one. Can you afford that in? Just barely, wow.
So from here, let's see if we can find Rimeldar anywhere. That would be the next big thing I'm looking for. The next big town I'm looking for. Since Garenham is pretty much useless without a key. Although with Hurtmore, Hawksness might be pretty high on my list as well.
Ooh, we got the Stones of Sunlight Cave. What do we get? What do we have here? The Magic Key.
Ooh, that's a big one.
Oh, yes. Nothing else? You could find out what's in the Tangential Treasury.
Well, if you can get yourself a few more gold, you can restock. You can go ahead and build up your key stock using the key shop in Tantagle and render Rimeldar almost useless, only needing it to see what the treasure chest in the inn is.
Not to mention, we'll be able to see what the what's in the basement of Tanagil this time around. Ooh, we've got another town. Once we're able to get past all that swamp, things seem to be looking a bit brighter here. And it's Rimeldar. Unfortunately, Tyerenex has almost no money, but...
Yeah, no money to buy keys at all. Already has the one key, so just finding it in general wasn't... we do have a flame sword and magic armor here, so should a gold grind be available, that could be really nice.
Definitely. And looks like Tristal is made it to level 11. Let's see what we got. 6, 1, 0, 14.
And we have Hawksness. This could be big.
Especially when we're seeing Drakis that aren't initially. But yeah, this trap tile here, and it's a Stone Man.
To answer the questions in chat about Rimeldar being key locked, I believe that I have asked McGrew about this recently, and he said currently if that Rimeldar cannot be key locked, that the logic does not take into account whether or not you can find a key into a cave.
And wow, so, Tyerenex taking down the Stone Man just using one sleep, and there's the armor. But yeah, one sleep just put the Stone Man. The Stone Man was in a deep sleep, and Tyerenex was just able to hack away at it, and was rewarded handsomely for it. Nicely done. And then gets promptly sleeped by an armored knight and sent home. But Tyerenex does have a key, and he'll be able to check things here.
Yeah, at this point, I think he may be forgoing it just because he doesn't want to lose that one key. I'm wondering if he's going to fight here for a few more gold and then go back to the castle. Okay, maybe not.
I personally would have saved and then checked the treasury, and if there was nothing good, I would have just reset.
That's a reasonable approach too. I think maybe he's having second thoughts based upon. Nope, never mind. Just trying to throw me off with exploration.
Well, now that he's got Edric's armor, he doesn't have to worry about the swamps anymore. don't... Was this where, Hawksness was? Where, Tristal is right now? I didn't...
No, he's still at where Cantlin is. That's Cantlin in the staff cave.
Oh, right. Yeah, it looks like Tyerenex might perhaps was just grinding for a bit of money to make sure he could afford at least one more key. And he's not going for the treasury either.
Well, the key is to go open this treasure chest first, get the extra key, or open this door first, get the extra key, then get the extra couple keys, then take that to the treasury, so that the treasury doesn't have gold or a key, you've still got a free key to do other things with later.
Right, and with some of the enemies around, getting enough to buy more wouldn't be that big. It wouldn't be that hard.
Exactly.
And he's saving now, or maybe not.
He's doing that to potentially set up a gold grind, because that gets those 3 chests from the throne room out of the way. Now, if there is a cave of significance underneath this, he'll have well beyond the 8 treasure chests opened.
But we have the Stones of Sunlight. And no money whatsoever. But we do have the Dragon Scale, which Tyerenex did not buy in Cantlin, so that saved him a little bit of money for whatever that's worth.
And so now he's hoping to find the mountain cave or Garen's grave underneath the castle here.
Yeah, anything else would not be a good thing to see right now. And we've got the Jerk Cave. Oh dear.
Excessively jerky today by preventing a gold grind from being doable. So that means we are probably not going to be seeing any purchases of silver shields, flame swords, or magic armor.
Yeah, pretty much. But with Edric's armor, large shield, and the Edric sword's got to be somewhere.
Yeah, and at 84 strength, we're looking at 124 damage with Erdrick's sword. So,
well, heck, Tristal's at 90 strength right now.
Oh yeah, even better, 130. So you're hitting that target you're looking for the Dragon Lord. By the time he gets to the 97 HP that you usually think of as the minimum, it's going to be a free fight.
So at 130, the range would be what, 7 to 15? If I'm doing the math right. That's correct. I'm glad the calculation for that is as easy as it turned out to be. So for those who don't know, for the range of attack of damage you'll be able to do against Dragon Lord 2, take your total attack power, subtract 100, divided by half, and that's your max. Divided again by half, and that's your min. And I saw part of that level up. I saw a 16 and a 17 there. I think 1 agility and looks like 4 more strength.
And I'm not sure there was any HP from it. No, there was. Never mind. I just got myself confused.
And Tyerenex finds another cave. And
Tyerenex.
It's the grave.
Tyerenex scoffing at the idea of a 97 minimum, at seeing as how he won a Dragon Lord fight last night with 89 hit points.
Well, whatever works. And the Demon Knight's dodging. There we go. So Tristal has the XP advantage by about 1100. Tyerenex has the exploration and the gear advantage as of now and finds another cave. And it is Garanham. And he goes ahead and buys the copper sword as well.
Yeah, I often like when I show up here to go check what's behind it first, because if okay, there's often gold or the sword behind it, and that can change what I decide to buy in that shop.
Well, to be fair, only spent 180. And he's not going into the back. Did he not?
He may still only have the one key and not want to waste it yet.
Yeah, good point. But at least with Edric's armor, he's able to survive this Diet Wombo combo from the Armored Knight here, having the damage from Hurtmo reduced by a third, I believe. So that little extra bit of survivability can go a long way.
And Tristal is about to find his fairy flute.
Not before. Oh, he's getting the hand axe first.
And I assume
yep,
there'll be a large shield.
Oh well, he's not getting it yet. Go ahead and getting his fairy flute first. And no, he's not. He's not getting the large shield.
I wonder if I missed what armors were there, but I wonder if there's a half plate and he's thinking, if that wasn't Erdrick's armor, I want to grind up to 1,000 right around the town. But I'm not sure. It's an interesting decision.
Well, of course, he doesn't know that there's no gold grind to be had in Tanagil.
And Tristal finally gets the taste of a key.
And Tyerenex is back over near Cantlin, it looks like.
Maybe thinking coordinates, or I guess maybe it looks like he's just trying to grind.
Perhaps. It's just a matter of what's he grinding for. Well, the thing is, he might be grinding for. He doesn't have enough for the inn yet. Maybe he's doing that before doing coordinates. Maybe, I don't know.
Well, he just wouldn't need the inn with the armor, because those barrier tiles don't do any damage.
True enough. But there is another key shop in Cantlin, albeit the most expensive one. Yeah, and looks like that's exactly what he's doing. That and maybe scoping out what the other shop in here has.
Now he'll probably take this key, open up, or go check the coordinates. Then he'll go to Garanham, use that key to check what was in the back of, or use another key to check what's in the back of that.
All right, so let's see what our coordinates are.
There are no coordinates.
Okay. And level 13, 9, 7, 1, 8. New spell. We got Heal More.
Yeah, this is an interesting one because definitely, Tyerenex had a decent exploration lead, although I feel like Tristal's about to tear into that pretty well. But Tristal's got a pretty healthy experience lead at this point. Without knowing what the grind monster is at the Swamp Cave, you don't know how easily you can make up this gap, but it's
Okay.
But it's a 1,600 experience difference right now, and that's pretty hefty without an easily grindable monster.
And apparently Tristal already has a shield, though we haven't seen the stats, so we can't really say for sure until we see that, since we may have missed him buying a shield already. But from the sprite, yeah, it definitely looks, he definitely has one. We just don't know which type. It must be the large shield, but we'll have to see when the stats get pulled up.
Well, seeing as how Tyerenex is the one who actually is responsible for getting these sprites in here, I'm going to assume if he says that that changes to a shield if you buy one, that he is correct in that. So we will go on the assumption that there is a shield, and I'll think we could probably go safely on the assumption that it's a large one as well, or else he would have purchased it.
And we see Tyerenex finding another magic key in the grave, and Tristal finding Hawkness. And the swamp cave right next to it.
I feel like at this point we fully explored this first continent, so I would have thought you'd expect that to be either the swamp cave or the swamp cave being Garanham.
Which means...
Actually, come to think of it, there's only two caves. There's only one other cave we haven't seen at this point. That's the mountain cave, right?
Right, yeah.
Which means that has to be behind Garanham.
Which I guess would mean the only thing that would be past the swamp cave might be Brecconary.
Which is, in general, not of any real value. So yeah, the swamp cave at this point seems like it's, especially with the town so close to it, and so at this point I would think that that there's no reason to go in the swamp cave except for to check that spike tile.
Yep, and we have seen Sherlock already in our exploration. It wasn't beyond the swamp cave. And Tyerenex is diving deeper into the grave. Yeah, while Tristal is taking on the Stone Man. And he's not getting the same kind of luck that Tyerenex did. He's definitely not getting the same sleep luck that Tyerenex did. Oh, wow.
No, the Stone Man is making this quite a bit more difficult.
But he's trying to use Hurt more, which is not...
That's about a 50-50 shot.
Ouch.
But just like his sleep luck.
I guess that explains why Tyerenex wasn't even trying to use it.
Hurtmore's a risky proposition on the Stone Man because the Stone Man can have enough hit points that two Hurtmores won't necessarily take it out, and so it can be really expensive over time if you're trying to Hurtmore them.
But he emerges victorious and gets his armor, and his defensive power is already in the orange there. So we're getting close to hit points aside. Our stats are getting pretty good at this point.
This is where kind of the Armored Knight scares me a lot, because that agility is, while it's not undoable with, that agility is still pretty low, and they've not really had a whole lot of fortune with that. And the low agility means that it's going to be hard to get away from those Armored Knights. And if they can sleepwalk you the one time, then you could be done for. So unless they have low stop spell resist, it may start becoming one of those coin flip dives.
And like I said, it seems like the only thing beyond the swamp cave is Brecconary, but Tristal is buying a broadsword. And Tyerenex coming to the end of the grave and finding the fighter's ring.
So we didn't end up finding anything of significant value in the grave, I believe. So that means if Tristal can skip it, it's going to put him at a really significant lead. You take a chance one way or another at this point with which cave you go to first. But
and comment in chat, flame sword finish. Were you watching the previous race?
As for those who weren't aware, the last race finished with the winners killing the Dragon Lord with the Flame Sword. And so I think these runners are thinking, at this point, I could probably be doing it with the Broadsword. Tristal has actually already won one game this tournament, killing the Dragon Lord with the Broadsword, so...
And Tyerenex finds the Silver Harp in the back of Garenham so far. And the Cursed Belt. And another key. Wow. We're getting refunds on our keys left and right here. And oh, there's the mountain cave.
And the Axe Knight Spike Tile.
Ooh, okay. That has Dragon Lord Breath. Oh my.
That could be problematic in the dive to Charlock, but as a grinding place, that's still not overly significant, just because you can often get them in one shot, and anything, if they get one off, you can heal that out afterwards. I think Tristal wanted to know what it was for just in case it's necessary, but with the strength he's got, it's very possible the next level is going to be all he needs, so he's wanting to make sure he gets everything, does all his exploration before he spends any more time grinding.
Not to mention, I don't think he had checked for the coordinates yet, so I might be checking to see how tough a fight that is if he has to go get the princess.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
Meanwhile, we got Armored Knights in the Mountain Cave.
This rapid strength gain is also, I think, really working nicely for Tyerenex, because with with us being so close to being able to take on the Dragon Lord stat-wise, there may not be a whole lot more leveling to do, and so that experience gain that Tristal has, that he did while Tyerenex was doing all the exploration, may turn out to not benefit him that much.
So we've seen gold in the mountain cave so far. And a torch, which now that we have Radiant, we don't really need. And looks like I don't think anyone's checked the chest here in Rimmaldar, have they?
I believe that. I actually thought it was Tristal that did, but somebody has. I believe it's either a key or a torch. Yeah, I think Tristal has, otherwise he wouldn't be walking right back out.
Okay, it was a torch. Confirmation in chat. I must have been focused on whatever Tyerenex was doing at the time and didn't see it. But we're at the last chest in the mountain cave, and Edric's token. I saw that first word, and I dared hope it was the sword. And meanwhile, Tristal getting a level 14, and it didn't have much, I don't think.
So at this point, Tyerenex, all he has left to do is turn everything in and grind.
Yeah, and we've seen where the Staff of Rain Cave is. We've seen where the Jerk Cave is. Just get your levels and go at this point.
This strength is absolutely absurd.
Well, goodness knows you'd take it any day of the week.
And so it looks like this seed is going to hold true to form, and strength is going to stay above HP the entire way. Unless we get in a massive HP game, in which case it's go time.
Oh yes, definitely. And Tristal has yet to check the tangential treasury, so it doesn't have the Stones of Sunlight yet.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's been back since he found his first key, if he's managed to go back there yet or not. But he is entering the mountain cave here and still has not entered Garen's grave, so it's possible he could skip that dive altogether.
Which, if he hits the treasury beforehand, that would be a huge boon for him. And
So yeah,
Tyerenex finally checking the chest here and getting the unfortunate news, though. Yep. So I think at this point we're pretty much confirmed that Edric's sword is in the Sharlock.
To answer the question in chat by, looks like Joe Max Z, once you leave that first chest, or once you leave the throne room for the first time, all of the chests go away. And so if you were to have left gold in the throne room or left one of those chests with gold in the throne room and then left, when you came back, that chest would be gone. So it cannot be used for a grind in the future.
So,
it also means that if one of those has a key item like the stones or something like that, you better make sure you pick it up, or else you are never going to find that item.
So I believe the Staff of Rain Cave, was that the one that was near Cantlin?
Yes. And the jerk is in the basement of Canticle.
Right. So at this point, really all the biggest concern for our runners is what HP are you comfortable with going for taking a Sharlock dive in? Because our max HP at 87, 88, that's not the best.
Yeah, but especially with that defense power. You might be willing to risk it with not having the 97 if you had defense power that made it a good chance that if the Dragon Lord attacked, you'd still have over 48 or at least over 46. But with 71 defense, the Dragon Lord can do, I want to say 52 damage with an attack, and so 87 is really a no-go. Beyond the idea with that agility, you're probably not getting to the Dragon Lord with a whole lot of resources if there are red dragons or armored knights in Sharlock.
Yeah, getting away from them, easier said, yeah, on a good day. And Tyerenex just is retracing his steps, checking every cave on the way back.
It may be possible that he forgot where the staff cave was or where the jerk was, and so he's trying to remember that, retracing all the steps in the process. Because he's searched every treasure chest in the game at this point, I believe, or every chest outside of Sharlock. So.
Right. I'm sure he remembers that the Jerk Cave was under Tangential. It's just a matter of remembering where the Staff of Rain Cave is. Meanwhile, Tristal's about to get his Stones of Sunlight.
Now, definitely, this is hurting for Tyerenex here.
Oh yeah.
Now, Tristal's got all the key items and is ready to turn in his drop. And I just don't believe ever did a dive into the grave, which means he won't have his fighter's ring, but with 108 strength, that hardly matters.
Yeah, because right now the attack range, the damage range is what, 7 to 14 now, as of now.
Well, that's with the broadsword, though. You add the Erdrick sword to that, and it becomes, 12 to 24? So with an average of 18 to swing, it's not going to take long for the Dragon Lord to go down. In fact, with an average of 18 to swing, if you could get to the Dragon Lord with these stats, you're probably actually gonna, or you probably have a good chance of winning, even if you have to re-heal a couple of times. But with this agility and HP, the chance of getting to the Dragon Lord with most of your resources intact is still really, really remote.
And a mention from chat, we have not actually seen red dragons yet. So that leads one to believe that there's just going to be a ton of them in Charlock.
And Tyerenex finds what he was looking for. And the experience lead is not that significant. I mean, it's 1,000, but that's not too awful to make up at this point, depending on where they decide to go grind for their last levels. So it's definitely doable, especially given, again, the risks of diving down into Charlock with some of these monsters in that low agility. So while Tristal's definitely got the edge here, it's still a really wide open game.
Yep, still anyone's race. All it takes is one failed Charlock dive to turn the tides here. And depending on how the enemies shake out in the first floor Charlock, maybe a Charlock grind might be a possibility here.
Given that Tyerenex, I'm not even sure Tyerenex has seen has been in the swamp cave. I'm not sure about that, but
it was right next to Hawkness. So.
But he died in Hawksness right after getting the armor, so I'm not sure if he ever made his way back. So I don't.
He did.
Not knowing where it is, or it may be if you don't know the Actionites there, the Charlock grind is probably your best option. And we're about to see Tristal hit level 15, and if that's
golems have heal. Oh, that's not nice.
Heal for a golem is actually not that big of a deal because it's basically a free turn to do some extra damage. Because with how weak their defense is, you can swing more than their heal can do. So it's just a turn they don't hurt you.
All right, let's see what level 15 gives us. 1771. HP is at 95. Ooh.
Oof, I would be tempted to try here.
Well, that's 7 agility, but the agility is at 75. It's certainly better.
It's not an ideal agility to go down with. You're still not favored to run against the higher agility monsters, but it's enough that I'd be willing to take my chances. You still gotta realize the Dragon Lord can do, I believe, 51 damage to you still at this point, so it's, keep that in mind. But 95 HP, and with that much MP and 149 attack power, you've got a few chances to deal with situations where you lose that much extra hit points.
Oh, I don't think Tristal's headed for Sharlock. He's probably just grinding on the blue dragons and the golems here. Meanwhile, Tyerenex is doing something similar in the Cantlin area.
So this could be a part where this game swings if Tristal is deciding here. Oh, so Tristal's deciding to do the Garen's Grave Dive, I think.
Yeah, maybe trying to see one last ditch effort to find the sword before diving in Sharlock. Yes, I believe both of our runners have found Sharlock. It wasn't that far of a walk from Tanagil.
Yeah, and you kind of had to pass it to cross to get to a few other places. So yeah, Tristal, I guess, wanted to take that one chance to see if the Erdrick sword was in the grave first before he decided to dive. But if Tristal decides to grind to the next level here, and Tyerenex decides to dive at 15, that could kind of change, or really, because it's definitely doable at 15, so that could really give Tyerenex the chance to get past this experience deficit he's got.
Not to mention, Tyerenex has the fighter's ring. Tristal does not. That 2 extra attack power could mean a lot in the end.
I mean, on average, based upon simulating the damages you can get due to the Dragon Lord, you get about an extra 0.38 average attack or average damage per addition per each attack you have. So that's about an extra 3/4 damage, or an extra 0.75 damage you'd be doing with the Fighter's Ring, which at this strength level, I don't know that it's really going to speed up that many, but if it could cut one turn off when you're playing at low HP, it could be worth it.
This looks like Tristal is heading for Sharlock. So it's just a matter of, is he trying to head for the Dragon Lord? Will it be and stopping by the treasury along the way? Maybe this is purely for a grind, just to test the waters, maybe?
I can't imagine that he's making this dive now to do anything but just try to go to the Dragon Lord. You're too close borderline to waste your time going down for a dive, and based upon these few runs that we're starting with, even though I guess it's a Stone Man and a Red Dragon, so you'd probably run from those regardless.
Right.
I just don't think... Oh, looks like maybe he's going to try to grind on his way down?
Well, you're getting green dragons. Those aren't really the most threatening things at this point.
Well, like, they do have hurt, but they should still pack quite a bit of a punch, because they don't get defense broken until 88. Defense. In fact, he's defense breaking nothing in Sharlock right now. So each one of those can hit pretty decently, so unless you can get a good heal walk in, even the smaller monsters can do some damage over time.
And looks like, mentioned in chat, looks like Tyerenex is wandering around some more. Because I'm pretty sure Tyerenex has seen Sharlock recently. What's he looking for at this point?
So my next thought is maybe he's looking for the Swamp Cave, that he forgot it was right there by Hawksness when he died, and he's trying to see if he can find a good grind spot there. That may be what he was looking for before, when he knew where everything else was already.
Maybe he doesn't remember that there was a cave right next to Hawkness. Alright, the Axe Knights with the Dragon Lord Fire. So Tristal does seem to be fighting the Green Dragons and the Star Wyverns, and Tyerenex, I guess, refines Sharlock, I guess? I don't know.
Well, that does seem to be where he was aiming for, based upon his current motion, so maybe that was what he was looking for to begin with.
Either that, or maybe he was looking for a Swamp Cave and just saying, you know, screw it, I've probably wasted enough time on this already, I'm going in.
He might actually just be making a sword dive here. Who knows?
So what's the XP goal for 16?
16 is 9750.
Okay, so it's not that far away. But Tristal's heading for the treasury and using herbs as well.
We did finally have our fun police sighting down at the bottom floor, although it was a rapid exit, so it didn't turn out to be that big a deal.
Yeah, well, we were seeing him on the first floor too.
Oh, I missed. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. That was like the second monster he fought.
All right, so let's see if the sword is here, and is the first chest, bottom right. Boy, attack power at 149. Likely to go up pretty soon.
Yeah, and I think Tyerenex is going to go at this level just because he took, as soon as he hit level 17, he took an automatic death, decided to fight that red dragon, and probably to reset his resources, and I think he's on his way back. So it's probably too little too late at this point, but he was going to make the dive at 15.
What? Dang, 52 damage on an attack on a green dragon. Wow. This is some beefy characters we got here. Although the encounter rate's not doing Tristal that many favors right now. Well, you keep finding encounter after encounter, dragon after dragon. Oh dear. Yeah, he had to burn a heal more there. You might have to burn another before we can get away from this one. As he's already burned some herbs on this floor. And still can't run away from him. Wow. Ooh, just barely survives. We saw 37 on the last hit and could have done it again. Ooh, 39. And he finally gets away with 67 magic. And we got a golem for the garden.
That's definitely something Tristal wants to see at this point, because you don't want to lose another magic point. You want to have that extra heal that in case you need it against the Dragon Lord 1 to offset a hurt more or something like that. And you want to have all 8 remaining heal mores for the Dragon Lord 2 fight.
All right, level 16. What do we have? 4, 6, 0, 7. New spell. Not that it matters.
But 0. Oof. I mean, obviously, with 153 attack power, it's still... I think it's still moot even with only 8 heal mores.
Yeah, our attack range being looks like 13 to 26.
Sounds right to me. So on that, you're doing what, 19 and a half damage a shot? So 8 to 9 shots will finish off a max HP Dragon Lord.
Yeah, the Dragon Lord's being spammy with the Hurtmores, and Tristal's out of herbs. Oh dear. Has to burn. He's going for it.
Ooh, that's risky. A back attack's gonna finish him off.
Oh yeah, it would. Yeah, and the Dragon Lord gets it. Wow, ow, down goes Tristal.
Oof. Yes, I believe the word for that. Yet, on the other side, Tyerenex has decided, I guess, to fight, or to actually keep trying to grind to the next level as well, because he was at least casting Hurtmores still after he left the castle earlier.
Well, I think he stopped at an inn because his MP's back up to full.
Yeah, maybe so. Maybe he decided to do what Tristal's doing now, and if he can have some better fortune against red dragons, again, that could swing the game here.
Well, at least we know where Edric's sword is, so that'll be a great boon for Tyerenex whenever he gets there.
And Tristal having trouble even running from golems. It's just not his day with the running.
Well, we saw how the issues Tristal had just a moment ago with the red dragon. Well, yeah, you might be right that Tyerenex might not be going for. He might just be going for a sword dive because he's already using a heal more on the first floor.
Yeah, or it could be the other side if you're thinking, if I get a few more HP, then I don't even need hardly that much MP. You know, because once I've got doing 151 damage or 151 attack power with Erdrick's sword, and I can survive a Dragon Lord hit, then.
And apparently Tristal had just accidentally cast Return instead of Repel. That was unfortunate. Although I think Tristal's going off to restock on herbs before diving into Charlock again.
And there is Charlock death number 2 of this seed.
Yep.
With Tyerenex also being able to not being able to escape the red dragons.
Yeah, the red dragons are out for blood today.
The nice thing for Tyerenex here is that Tristal at least had to stop. Or of course, he accidentally cast Return, and then he still has to stop off for herbs, where I don't believe Tyerenex has actually used any yet, so he's not going to have to make any stops on his way.
The comment in chat wondering why Tristal stopped in the fight, get herbs because it's a free fight. It wasn't free last time Tristal fought Dragos. The Dragon Lord 1 was spammy with the Hurtmores, and that was ultimately Tristal's undoing.
Zarnax actually makes a really interesting point of running from everything but Red Dragon, saving all your HP to fight the Red Dragon, and with that much attack, you can probably get him in a couple of hits. Or not 2, but you may be able to get him before he goes.
And Tyerenex falling foul to the Armored Knights, not even able to get to Charlock at this point.
Definitely this agility becoming a real factor in this seed.
And yep, Tristal having to burn heal mores against the red dragons again. And still not able to run. That's at least 3 failed runs just on this one alone. Wow. These red dragons just don't want to let go.
I know we're not we're not favorites to run at this agility against red dragons, but the odds are not that bad.
Yeah, failing to run like 5 or 6 times? Goodness.
And we get our next red dragon here. And we get a successful run the first time. That's something that's nice to see.
You know, and the red dragon gets a back attack and is latched on good once again. And Driscoll's just running from everything at this point. He's clearly thinks the levels he has is enough. It's just a matter of being able to get away from these red dragons. And Tyerenex hits level 16 and gets the bad news about the HP, if nothing else.
It's interesting that he was so close to town there and opted not to go back in and refill to get that extra heal more that you got from that MP gain. As we've already seen, that can become a big deal down here.
And Tristal gets past the golem. He's going in at full health and at 74 MP. So that's what, 9 heal mores?
Yeah, that's 1 heal more than he had going in last time. Let's see if he gets any better fortune from Dragon Lord 1 this time.
Well, he didn't even hardly even use any of the heal mores before before Dragon Lord took him out. So, and Dragon Lord 1's spamming the hurt mores again. There's finally a stop spell. Wow.
And at this point, barring really nasty rolls.
Oi, back attack again.
Those are some really nice hits by the Dragon Lord.
Uh-huh. Ooh, there's 49. He's going for it at 46. And wow, that's some precision for you. Oh man, Dragon Lord knew exactly how hard he had to hit.
Yeah, I'm surprised at that swing at 46. I might.
Yeah, that was a risk, and
chance
I'm
of
sure
dying to the
Tristal.
Dragon Lord 2 breath.
Yeah, Tristal knew that was a risk. He went for it. Sometimes no guts, no glory, right?
Well, hey, all I can say is at this point, these two have given us a really entertaining game.
Yeah, and Tyerenex hasn't even gotten to the bottom floor yet, but he's getting close. Yeah, but when you're at 95 HP, you're well within range of being two-shot, especially when with the defense that we've got here. So sometimes you gotta take your shot.
There's definitely some truth to that, where you've got to take your chances somewhere, but that early, I don't know. You still had a couple of heal mores, I feel like, to burn.
Oh yeah, definitely. And Tyerenex is on the bottom floor, heading for the
Tyerenex also getting some amazing hero runs down here in this last zone so far.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, there's like suddenly Red Dragon, but he was able to get away from it. And
so hero runs in two different meanings of the word. Both being able to run from monsters and not running into monsters.
Yeah, Tyerenex getting the Edric Sword, attack power of 155. So can Tyerenex snipe this win away from Tristal?
Oh, the Red Dragon's trying to have some fun with Tyerenex now.
Yeah.
There goes one heal more, still in pretty decent shape, all in all.
Yeah, it's just this health that we've got. That's the biggest worry here. And the fact that the Dragon Lord can hit for more than the breath. And looks like Tristal has had enough, and he's swinging against the Red Dragons now.
Well, when you get 251 to a Red Dragon, that, as Zarnex had mentioned before, that seems actually like the smart decision there, or the least risky decision.
And if nothing else, you're gaining XP. So if you're failing, if you end up dying down here, at least you're gaining something out of it. And if nothing else, you might hit level 17. That might be where the huge HP gain is. Tyerenex about to get the news about the golem.
Opting not to worry about using the fairy flute and just hoping the golem keeps using its... Oh, never mind.
Wow, hitting for 59 on the golem. Holy cow.
One nice thing about fighting golems is they cannot dodge your attacks, so at least you know if you're in that range, you don't have to worry about the dodge totally messing you up.
Alright, so Tyerenex is on his first attempt at the Dragon Lord fight, and Tristal goes down to a Red Dragon. But is under 1,000 experience away from getting hit level 17.
Tyerenex getting 55 damage to the Dragon Lord on the first hit, meaning that the next hit's going to send him away. So while Tristal's had to hit the Dragon Lord 3 times each time he's fought him, Tyerenex is... Oh, never mind. Tyerenex is going to have to go for 2.
Oh, dear. Tyerenex is out of herbs now, and he's
and
going
he takes
for it.
The same chance.
Oh, boy. We've seen 2 back attacks from Dragon Lord 2 already. Will we see a third? Yes,
No!
we will see a third, and Tyerenex is down. Oh, wow.
Ouch!
Dragon Lord is not pulling punches today.
And just like that, Tristal has pulled way back ahead, because now Tyerenex is going to have to stock up on herbs again.
Mm-hmm.
And Tristal's probably going to hit level 17 on his way down, if he continues to fight the red dragons like he just was.
Right, yeah.
You do have to wonder at this point if one of the two players had just decided, you know what, I'm not comfortable at 95 hit points, let's just go ahead and grind to 17 instead, if they would have already reached the Dragon Lord at this point and finished.
Not to mention, if they're checking IRC, they see that their opponent has not got done yet. So I believe from what I saw from the king, it was like 12k is the goal for level 17.
That's correct.
Yeah, and Tristal's just fighting everything at this point.
Tyerenex is also doing grinding as he's walking, because he's got to stock up anyway, so he's going ahead and taking his chance to spend everything that he needs. Or go ahead and spend everything he can to see if he can hit 17 before he gets down. And those golems are going to make it real fast.
And I see Eternal Newbie, the winner of our previous race, is kind of wishing ill will on our racers here. Doesn't want any agility or any HP from level 17.
Yeah, but 24 magic points is enough to completely offset that. Which he also has Comfort in there.
All the MP in the world doesn't help if you get killed by a back attack again.
Well, it prevents you from having to take that chance by being able to.
They've been taking that chance already. Oh, Crystal's running from the Stone Man. Oh, even the green dragons are getting back attacks. Holy cow! We don't know if how many herbs are in the treasury. They've only checked the one chest. But we have level 17 for Tristal. What do we have?
1,
3, 1, 4. Oh my. Oh, that was an empty level.
Yeah, that difference between 95 and 96 is not particularly significant, given the way everything's broken down at this point. So this is not, you didn't gain a whole lot from gaining that extra level.
Oh, hey, if it's gonna lead to seeds this exciting, maybe I should be rolling them more often.
We'll ask our runners what they think of that.
I'll let you ask that one. while I back away slowly.
Tyerenex also employing the let's kill red dragons on our way down strategy.
And Crystal's made it to the bottom. It's like started running away from everything once it's 17. Somehow, I don't think either of our runners is gonna think I think about having to grind to 18. Yes, up to NG and Chadley, why can't you defeat the Dragon Lord? That is actually the king who says that if you're at level 30. The Tristle's fighting the red dragons. As they will just not go away.
So the Axe Knights say, if you're going to fight them, let me get in your way instead.
Oh dear. Yes, my basement is also full of red dragons and axe knights that I have taught how to breathe fire. So basically, we're pretty much, even with that extra level, we're pretty much back to where we were before.
Yeah, so let's see what, except for the fact, no, I guess Tristal has the same amount of MP that he had going in the last, he has the same amount of MP Tyerenex had going into the last time. I think Tristal still was one kill more down last time, but already starting more favorably with the stop spell.
Well, let's see how, oh, Dragon Lord starts with the stop spell, that's good. The hurt more, not so much.
And no back attack this time.
Yeah, you must be ahead of me. I think my stream's been lagging a little bit.
Yeah, I had to refresh it just a minute ago for that. Here's the big question. What do you do at 47?
Oh dear. And no, he's burning the heal more.
Playing it safe this time.
And we've already had multiple deaths to Dragon Lord here. No sense in. You just gotta. Oh boy, 49. Oh, is gonna be. It's a physical for. Oh, okay, for 38. All right. I don't know. At 82 DP, I don't know how much Dragon Lord could do with a physical.
At 82 defense, he could do up to 49.
Okay, all right.
So actually, that was probably the biggest deal for this level, is that swinging at, or that 49 is the worst they could do rather than 50.
Like, because since Tristal's at 50 at the moment?
Exactly.
Oh, wow. And Tyerenex gets that empty level 17 right at the golem. So we're having synced up Dragon Lord fights. Let's see who survives. And okay, Tristal won. GG.
Yeah, Tristal had it in the bag because he decided not even to heal for that last hit. So he had it calculated that his last hit had to kill him there. So everybody get out your GGs for Tristal, who's going to be moving on to the second round to face Jacquemus Wedge. And we will wait for him to get into chat for an interview while we watch Tyerenex hopefully finish off the Dragon Lord right here.
Yeah, Tristal finishing with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 34 minutes, and 33 seconds. At least with the attack power that our runners have had, the damage part, them dealing damage was not the issue. It was the surviving part.
Yeah, that's for sure. Noting we have been comparing strength to HP this whole time at level 17, strength had an 18-point advantage over HP.
Oh yeah. And we're not even talking full attack power, we're just talking just straight up strength. And Tyerenex has plenty of MP. Surviving this fight should not be an issue.
Yeah, most definitely. You don't really even necessarily need to take much of a risk here on any swings. Kind of like Tristal deciding to heal when he got down to 47 earlier. You should be good to go with your odds here. But that's twice now, for example, that Tyerenex has swung at 50. So those extra 2 defense power, which made that 50 a perfectly safe swing, were really significant.
And Tyerenex takes down the Dragon Lord.
So everybody get out your GGs again for Tyerenex, and for both players for making this such an exciting race. Given all the chaos that happened in this thing, the fact that we're finishing 2 minutes apart from each other is pretty remarkable.
Meanwhile, we have our winner, Tristal, in chat. GG.
GG, Tristal.
Yeah, GG. That doesn't feel great, but I still won somehow. So, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, that between the Red Dragons and Dragon Lord himself, they was giving both of you the business.
Yeah, I figure they kind of had to be. I don't feel like I played super great either. So, yeah, this I skinned through this one just barely. This was really rough.
If it makes you feel any better, both of you died to a Dragon Lord 2 back attack.
Yeah, I really shouldn't have even gotten in a position to get ambushed either. I really should have just healed on DL1 and try and let DL2 fly, because DL1's just going to do less damage to me on average. And I'm just going to heal at the first turn of DL2. So that was just a really bad mistake on my part. I don't think I would have had enough heal mores to do it anyway had I done that, so I think it was sort of irrelevant. We would have been going with hurt more strats, but you know, it's been done before, so it would have been pretty rough either way.
So how about the beginning of that seed where you were kind of cornered?
Yeah, I busted out laughing as soon as I saw that. That was pretty hilarious.
So just to make sure, we did not have the big swamp flag on, right?
No, nothing like that. It just kind of happened. I think Big Swamp involves Tanagal also being in the swamp, so at least this one was sort of fair. I mean, at least we got somewhere to walk on to have magicians have heal more.
Yeah, when we saw that, that was kind of rude.
That was really disheartening, just to be able to jump to level 2 right away instead of having to kill 5 slimes. I hadn't seen Drakis at that point yet, so just to have an excellent move happen and then still not kill the magician was a little rough, but made it through eventually.
And unfortunately, Tyerenex apparently has has a malfunctioning mic, so will not able to join us in voice. And so but at least you got hurt more at level 2, wasn't it, right?
Oh, for sure that was a blessing, and enough HP to walk through the swamp fairly early, even if we wouldn't have gotten heals. So we had some stuff that we could do, so it wasn't that bad in the beginning. The rough part was there weren't really any towns nearby. Caitlin was over there, but that was a bit of a walk, and you had to get past some pretty tough enemies to get there. So it was definitely...
And all the swamp.
Yeah, I was definitely worried early on that the random, fun police deaths or the armored knight deaths would really, really add up because of the extra walk you would have to do just to get back. But yeah, there was a lot of things that I felt like I did pretty badly this seed. I straight up forgot that I didn't have the Stones of Sunlight at one point. I went to go check the treasury before even checking Garen's grave at all, because I knew at that point that Tanagal had the Jerk Cave in the basement. So I figured, oh, I just got the Staff of Rain. I can cast Return, and let's go get our Rainbow Drop. And then I checked the treasury on the way and found the Stones of Sunlight, and I was like, oh, yeah, this was all planned. Sure, totally. So
Yeah, that was fortunate.
yeah, that definitely worked out because it was less than 50% for it to be there, given that I hadn't seen the 5 chests in Garen's Grave. So yeah, that was definitely a rough seed. I definitely need to play better in the next round for sure. Because Jacquemus is one of the old school guys. He is a beast for sure. So I definitely got to get on my A game.
So if it makes you feel any better, the best thing in the grave was the last chest had the fighter's ring.
Yeah, I figured it had to be in there somewhere. Once I got the sword in the treasury, I didn't really need to care about fighter ring. Even just like the extra 8 steps it would take to open the chests were not worth it, given the red dragons in the basement.
Yeah, those red dragons were something else.
Yeah, I don't normally like to take that sort of a risk, especially with 95 hit points. But I figured I could probably just kill like some wizards or some werewolves on the way down and get another level, and we'd get like 8 HP, and everything would be smiley faces and flowers and happiness, and the Dragon Lord would be no problem. And then we got nothing. And then I tried to get another level again eventually, and we got 1 hit point, which is not 2. So I had to hold my breath quite a bit on those DLs. Obviously, the one time he punished me for it. So yeah, but
like, those red dragons just did not want to let go.
Yeah, they really put me in a position where I had no outs anymore against the Dragon Lord. And a lot of times I really struggle with whether or not I should just be fighting the red dragons and using about 1 heal more on average versus just running and taking my chances. I think it turns out I should have been fighting them. I mean, obviously in hindsight, it's easy to see that given what happened, but I think I should have been fighting them anyway. Even if I don't get the HP out of the levels, I might get a couple agility, some, maybe 1 more heal more even on a level. And then if everything goes wrong, I at least have some more experience for the next time I dive.
And apparently that last couple points of agility apparently mattered quite a bit, because that knocked down the Dragon Lord's physical damage down to 49.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty rough. Every time he breathed fire on me in that final fight, I was just like, please don't do 48. Please don't do 48, so I imagine most racers have a similar silent prayer to themselves about that. So it worked out that time.
Yeah, I'll say for you that you decided early on to stick around Cantlin and grind for a little while rather than go on to explore. Tyerenex made the other decision to go ahead and explore, so he had a significant exploration lead on you, but you turned out your experience lead worked in your favor, so by the time you both were ready to go into Sharlock, you were still about 1,100 experience on him, and if you consider how much time it takes to get 1,100 experience in the margin of victory, that option to grind early on really was kind of the difference in the game.
Yeah, there was a second point I wanted to talk about where I went back into North Swamp to figure out what the boss encounter there was, and I saw Axe Knights. They had Dragon Breath, which wasn't great, but that's still something you can hurt more. And I killed one, and then I was just like, well, I'm doing quite a bit of damage to these guys. How much strength do I actually have? And I saw I was in triple-digit strength already, and I was like, oh no, I just need to go explore now. Because I had none of the free items at that point. I figured I'm just going to get up to 97 HP at some point in my travels. I just need to go now instead of grinding to try and be able to survive Dragon Lord before I even have the Rainbow Drop.
You guys had strength real fast. Like, you had 50 strength at level 4, I think it was.
Yeah, which was actually pretty unfortunate. It meant that a lot of things that I wanted to hurt more to death were just running from me instead. So it was actually a handicap in the early part of the game, which was sort of annoying for just trying to level and get heal more and be able to explore after that.
Heck, it was a handicap at level 1 when the slimes were running away from you.
Yeah, that was pretty disappointing too, but you get kind of used to that. I mean, you either can spend 2 or 3 turns killing a slime, or just 1 and hope they don't run away from you.
It was definitely an exciting seed to watch, especially at the end with the Sharlock dives, and things ended up in your favor, and you're moving on to the round of 16.
Yeah, I'm happy to be moving on to the Sweet 16. Jacquemus is definitely a formidable opponent, like I said. So I definitely need to get some more practice in. I feel like with some of the more difficult situations. So hopefully next time it'll work out better for me.
All right, and I think that pretty much does it for us. Don't believe there's any more races today or tomorrow. I think the next race is on the 17th at 11. I want to say it's at 11:30 Eastern. I forget who the participants are at the moment.
I believe that's Jake Hooper and I want to say Azriel Ravenheart.
Yeah, that sounds about right. So I believe that's the. I also don't recall if there's a set channel for that one as of yet, but that's pretty much our next one. I think we got a couple matches the next day as well, and yeah, it was just if all the races are going to be exciting as this, we're in for a treat for this tournament. So with that, alongside Tilo, I am Melee Wizard, and have a nice night.